All
but
right.
this is like 3550, I think,
Mhm.
and I I was just queuing flex, but I didn't.
Behind you. Someone's coming
I
behind you.
thought I was queuing quick play, and then I kind of forgot about our meeting for a second.
Mhm.
Oh God. It's kind of hard for me though to like listen at the same time as I play.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and
Well,
I did not intend to queue.
a lot of my talking should hopefully be in between fights and whatnot when you're dead.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about, and then I'll have a couple questions when we get the chance.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had a lag spike. What the hell was that?
All right.
The
My ball
audio,
should have touched there, I think.
the audio seems to be very delayed, so I'm turning off the audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it matters, but I'm using Bluetooth headphones. I don't know if that would cause it to.
Well, possibly.
Hmm.
I might recommend ranking up a little bit from the Bluetooth headphones, right? Getting something better. I mean, like, especially when you're competing at this high of a level, $20 headset's probably gonna do you better than than earbuds will. Or are
Yeah,
you talking
I
about
mean,
actual just like wireless
I have
headphones?
like Sony wireless headphones, but they're
Okay,
not
okay,
meant
sorry.
for gaming.
Okay.
Oh, look at my hands. I'm glitched again. Oh God. I don't know why three of us are looking at this hog, but we are. That was probably not a good play. Are we gonna touch? Okay. We're like not playing the objective at all. So let's see. We can Flux Dragon. Oh, I should be on high ground.
Yeah. Probably the high ground's gonna be really good because then we get the high ground advantage. Being that far forwards means that we don't get any choke points that we can really hold very effectively. Opens up to get us up to getting back capped and whatnot.
Yeah, I definitely should have been playing high ground, but I'm here now, I guess. It's a stupid Bob on me.
Okay,
My team's not with me up here. I'm mostly not really talking in team chat right now.
all good. Yeah, your team doesn't necessarily need to be with you up on the high ground unless the entire fight's happening low ground. I mean, high ground's fine for you to be on.
There we go. Shouldn't have rocked there, I guess.
Okay. Probably talk a little bit about shield management afterwards here, or when we get the chance.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
make sure you're dropping it when you're no longer using it. Sometimes we'll leave it up and kind of just let it sit there when there's nobody even near us or shooting at us, and that just means that it doesn't do anything and it doesn't recharge.
Yep. Sigma's probably my best tank because he's kind of just like a flex DPS. And their hog's AFK over there. I don't know what he's doing. So I think I'm just gonna leave that shield for my snipers, at least while they're here. Oh.
Hmm. Yep, audio awareness. It seems that there's been a couple times where people have kind of snuck up on us and we haven't really been able to tell. So keep your ears open so that we're able to know when there's people on top of us.
Yeah, I think I should probably like the surround sound doesn't really is not great.
Not great with your headphones or like in the in-game version.
I think the headphones just don't have great surround sound.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, might
But I can
good.
probably adjust the settings.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a good idea to go for, and then also just actively paying attention to your surroundings, right? So that people aren't just sneaking up on us.
Yeah. Oh God, I fed there.
Okay. Um, yeah, backing up sooner. Also, we had shift available, so that's also an option. Or potentially run if we don't think we can get out, running in sooner to die, so that we're not staggering.
Yeah.
In the fight before,
Um,
potentially our ultimate could have been used, which can end up just swinging that fight if we're using it soon as we get it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, my ult usage I think needs a lot of work. I kind of hold it for too long a lot. Okay. I don't know if my ult's necessary here. I guess I could just use it when the
Well,
hog comes back.
being up one player isn't necessarily a one fight right off the bat, right? That's just an
Yeah.
advantage to be at.
Oh, I'm out in the open, but he's dead.
Okay. Consider the fact that we're kind of pushing really, really far into them. Just let them push into you, right? We only got two people when there were a lot of situations where they're grouped up in like stacks of four that we could have gotten, and then generally you don't need to push into them when you're on defense, and you can just kind of let them push into you through all the bad positioning that they have to run through.
Yeah. Oh, I've messed up my rock. Oh God, mine's bad rock. All right. I think we full hold unless I mean we have mines. I haven't been ult tracking though, so I'm not sure what they have. Uh-oh. Oh, I guess my positioning's bad there.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, I guess we'll wait till round's over, then we'll go over a little bit of that. But I think we're definitely going to go over some positioning after the game's done, some shield usage after the
Yeah.
game's done. But there, just
Okay.
once again, really far push forwards. Um, I guess, are you familiar with the terminology No Man's Land in Overwatch?
Yeah, like out in the open, like where I shouldn't be because we don't have that space, I guess.
Yeah, no man's land is any long stretch of space without any cover, right? So
Yeah.
think on payloads, that's very easy because pretty much the entire payload path is no man's land, where there's just no cover whatsoever. And the thing about no man's land is it's very bad positioning. Think of it very much like a choke point, right? And you don't when you're holding a choke point, you don't want to hold at the front of the choke and in front of it because then you don't actually get any value out of it. They're not forced to walk through the choke, which is very terrible positioning for them. And in fact, you have to walk backwards through it if you have to give up space, right? So you
Yeah.
not only are kind of giving up the potential advantage and disadvantage for them, you're flip-flopping it. Now you're at the disadvantage, they're at the advantage, right? So
Yeah.
instead, same thing with holding in the middle. So for both of them, you want to hold at the back end of it. So there's a lot of situations where we would push up really far instead of just letting them push through the no man's land to us, which would be advantageous to us. We'd push forwards ourselves and then be stuck out in the open, no cover at all, very far ahead of our team, and also ahead of like where
Yeah.
the objective is.
Okay. So should our team not be holding more space there or
Well, it depends. Typically, generally speaking, you want to be holding around where the card is, right? Because then that means that you don't have to worry about backcaps. It means that you have extra cover. There's no really, unless it's super advantageous positioning, there's no need to be further forwards. It doesn't give you anything more, and then it also puts more space, more no man's land that they have to actually push through.
Yeah,
The further
I
back you're
see.
holding.
I'm gonna try to focus a little more. Uh, just because I can listen, but it's hard at the same time to play. Uh,
Yep. So up the target priority rate, go for the supports if they're pocketing the DPS.
okay, there we go.
Probably even could have chased after the kills there if it's only like ball and soldier. You have point cap and divas with you.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. My diva. Okay, I'm gonna jump the soldier, I think. Okay,
Very nice.
where's my diva? Um, yeah, she's on point. Oh, I can't hear where the soldier is. I just hear him visoring. That's kind of annoying. I guess you're right about the audio. I couldn't tell where he was
Yep, that's
based on
definitely
audio.
gonna be a handy thing to fix.
I shouldn't have vaulted probably.
Yeah, or I mean, I think that's an okay situation to ult in. Just maybe even potentially sooner, or waiting until they're closer, like, or where you know where they are. Just because
Yeah.
we couldn't find them for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, my audio definitely. I'd never really thought about that, but it's
Mhm.
hard to tell where people are with that
Yep.
good surround sound. Uh. Oh God.
Request healing when you're low. Just to get people to look at you sooner. Your
Yeah,
supports.
the guy was like, "I can't see you," so I walked
Mm.
towards him.
Okay. Well, I didn't have the my audio on
Yeah,
my end.
yeah, no problem.
Very nice.
There's a hug there. I I don't know what they're doing up here, to be honest. I wasted my bubble. Yeah, yeah. I kind of fed the Ash a lot there, but at least she's dead.
Sorry, I'm gonna be like 2 minutes. I have someone from my job calling me. We'll extend the time by like 2 minutes. One second.
No problem, no problem. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. My bad.
All right, I'm back.
All right. They have like Hog and Kree, so I decided to switch. Uh, I'm not sure if it's the best choice, but
Hog and McCree. Yeah, I mean, when they do have a lot to contest you, I mean that's perfectly fine.
yeah, and I used my ult, so I decided it's a good chance to switch.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought I was eating that.
Yeah, just too far forwards in front of you. Once again, request healing when you're low. Just get your supports to look in your direction. Know that you need healing sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not aware enough of my own health.
Yep.
It's another sound thing, I think, 'cause like there's audio cues, but
Audio cues, visual cues, you'll see your screen getting red on the corners, in the middle. You'll see when you're taking damage. You'll hear when you're taking damage. You can see on the bottom left that you're taking damage. There's literally like 10 different ways that you see that you're low health. So it's just all of the awareness all around.
yeah.
That's a massive bomb. Oh, never mind. Everyone survived it somehow.
Oh, I ate the flash there. Nice.
Nice. All right. Shield usage. So when it comes to shield usage, you have like you have a bunch of different ways you use it. The general gist is danger, right? You use it when your team are in danger. You use typically being low is not indicative of danger because you can be 1 HP and around the corner and be perfectly safe, or you can be full HP next to a bomb and be very much in danger. But usually it is indicative of danger. So low, in danger, when you're pushing aggro, when you're backing out, when you're blocking ultimates and abilities, which are usually very high danger, right? And high
Yeah.
value to block. There's a lot of the times where you want to be shielding, right? And against like very, very high damage outputs. But the time that you don't want to be shielding is against just kind of any random spam damage, because then that just mows down your shield, and then what did you accomplish? Okay, you blocked, a couple shots here, a couple shots there, and it's nothing that really was probably going to kill anybody.
Yeah.
And you're going to have more use out of it if you're using it when it's actually needed, right? So, for example, like a lot of Hog's hooks got through, right? And that's
Yeah.
something that your shield can block if we're actively paying attention and watching Hog and knowing, okay, that's an ability that we can block. So, making sure that we're actively looking to block that with our Sig shield, right,
Yeah.
is a big thing. And then sometimes we would leave it up too long. Sometimes we'd eat up random spam damage, that sort of thing. So less spam, more intentional abilities and important timings with it.
Okay. That makes sense. Mm. I don't know if shield's worth using on the hog hook there, but
I think it's slightly delayed. I think it's fine because you don't know how many people are there to help shoot at her, because that could get her demacked if there's more than just Hog. Good shield
I
them.
used that to block, yeah,
Hmm.
healing for on him.
Yep. Nice short jump. Man, it's refreshing to watch a player who knows how to do that.
Yeah. Nice.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Main tank is not is probably my worst, but this
No,
is not
went pretty
so
well.
super high game.
Uh huh. Yeah, of course. And I mean, it doesn't look like, tank's your main gig. I'd say you did pretty well for what it was. If you played it more often, I think honestly you'd do pretty solid on it. But it's also, I believe, a couple hundred SR below where your DPS is at, right? So you're playing at
No,
a
actually.
no. Okay.
My DPS I dropped. Hold
Hmm.
on, I'll show you. So,
Sure.
so this was my last season. I played
Was
OpenQ
37.
a
Okay.
lot. But OpenQ actually kind of made me worse, and I was
Yeah.
like
I
losing a lot.
Unless you
Um,
actively enjoy it. I mean, it depends on your priorities, right? Are you? And that's actually let's really quickly get into like all my questions, and then sorry, we'll get into that. So typically when the session starts, I ask firstly how long you've been playing Overwatch for.
yeah, so I've been playing since season 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was gold in season 4, but
Oh, Pogman.
I actually started in silver,
I started
and
in
then I
silver
went
as
down to
well.
bronze. Yeah, so I
Yep.
went down to bronze in season 4, but then I got to gold in that season because the
Nice.
seasons were so long.
Yeah.
And then since then I've been like really slowly climbing, but I haven't like
Mm-hmm.
dropped off really.
Mm-hmm.
There was one season actually. So season 18 is when I got to Masters, and I've been there since then.
Mm-hmm.
My peak is season 23, I think. Or here's my peak, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was season 21. My peak was 3754,
Mm-hmm.
and since then I've gotten the other roles to Masters, but I kind of dropped off. I dropped to Diamond here on damage, and then I've just been hovering around this area for a very long time, and then I took like
Okay.
a year break right here, and
Mhm.
now I'm back and at my best, I think, right
All
now,
right.
except for on open queue.
Sounds good.
But
So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, then besides, let's say like the past 2 weeks or so, how often have you been playing the game?
I've been playing a lot. You can see my stats, 17 hours.
Mhm.
Um,
Over the course of like
about a week and a half, I would
week and a
say.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've been playing a lot since I came back from my trip. Um,
Mhm.
and last season also I played like 300 something, 300 games, I think,
Mhm.
296.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What would you say your goals are while playing the game? Are you playing just to have fun, to improve, to rank up, to win games?
Well, I say to improve, but I get tilted sometimes, and I don't play as well. But I do try to improve. But
Mhm.
especially, so this was really hard for me. In open queue, I got to 3809,
Mhm.
which was like top 20. Um, and then I was just really tilted and I dropped 800
Mm.
SR
Okay.
just
So,
yeah.
yeah, final question, and then I'll have I guess an add-on question for addressing that. So, um, final question. Do you have any questions for me? Yeah.
Um, I don't re I mean, I know you're like a top 500 player. I don't have you played on a team before?
Yes, I was very much into the tier 3 scene. Um, back in the day, back when I was playing competitively. So yeah, I played on many teams. Been all around the tier 3 scene. Hmm.
Okay, okay. I don't know what exactly tier 3 is.
Yeah, tier 3 is the level below contenders. So
Contenders?
you have tier
Okay.
1, which is Overwatch League, tier 2, which is contenders, and then tier 3 is the level below contenders. So it'd be like upper echelon of open division. So like
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
I played an open division. I can show you. Well, I can't show you. Um, well, do you know Elo Hell Esports? Like
Hmm.
Jane's thing?
Yep.
Yeah, so in season 17, right here, I'll just show you really quick. I got to Diamond in season 11, and I was just chilling here for a long time. And then season 17, I joined a team, and
Hmm.
I got coached. Um, I was on a Diamond team for Elo Hell Esports.
Okay.
And for all this time, I was hard stuck here, like peak 3250, and then the
Hmm.
next season I got to Masters from my coaching.
Nice.
And I'm basically doing the same thing again, where I'm playing the game a lot again, and I've been hard stuck like
Oh,
3500 for a very long
well,
time, but I think
yeah,
this
I'll
is
try to
my
help you
chance.
get up there. So first thing to address, right? When you are losing, like you dropped 800 SR for an open queue. We'll get to open queue in a
Yeah,
second, but you dropped 800 SR. When you're losing that 800 SR, over what course of time was that loss?
over a short period of time, definitely.
Over a short period
So,
of time. Okay. So
so
good.
yeah.
I mean, was there more to add on to it?
Well, I was just gonna say,
Mhm.
my goal was top 10, right? And I got 3809, which I think is like top 20.
Uh-huh.
Uh, oh wait. Yeah, it would have been top 20. And my goal was top 10. And I kept, when every time I would lose on my way to top 10, I would just get really upset.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I just tilt queued and I kept queuing and
Mm.
queuing. And then eventually I wasn't even in the top 500 anymore.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
how far down I went.
so I mean you just use the word in your sentence by tilt queuing, right? Tilt queuing is just when you continue to anytime you continue to play as you're losing. Now that can be other things besides just tilting. I mean tilting is usually one of the big ones, but it can be things such as like you can lose for a majority of reasons. You could lose because you're tired, because you just are having a bad day. You could lose just for any number of reasons, right? You can also lose because you're getting tilted, because you're getting upset. Even if that's not an extreme scale, it could be very subconscious, where you're just kind of in the back of your head, you're a little bit off because you're losing. And when it comes to tilt queuing, a very easy way to combat tilt queuing and not dropping, hundreds of SR in a day is to just cut yourself off, right? Is to set a limit
Yeah,
for yourself where you say, okay, if I lose let's say, I mean, you can. It depends on
You
how
can
well you know
see
yourself.
here
Hmm.
if you like. These are my
Yeah.
past 10 games. So here I won, and then here after 2 losses I got tilted and I kept playing and I lost
Mm.
and lost.
Yeah. Exactly. And
And
then
then I took a break and then this is how it went.
yeah. So exactly, I would honestly set the limit even a little bit lower. If it, depending on how well you know yourself, maybe you can set the limit at 3 losses in a row is off to break time, right? Or even like that's 3 losses in a row if you don't feel bad at all, right? If you still feel good. But if you are on loss 2 and you feel there's something off, then you call it, take a break, 30-minute break, go run around, do something else, right? Come back. Now your mind is refreshed, you're ready to go. Try once more. If you lose like a game or two, then you should pretty much just be done for the day because you
Yeah.
go and you and you look at this, this 10 list, right? And you went and you lost 4 games in a row, which is, much further over that. And then you come back and you win one and then you go and lose two. So in that course of time, right, over one, and then great, you won 2 more after that. But in the course, let's remove those last two. You went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 2, right? You went 6 and 2, and then
Yeah.
decided to play 2 more, right? And then you did
Yeah.
win those, and then even then it's still 6 and 4, right? So you're down 2 games. So in any
Yeah.
case, it's better to just cut yourself off. Now, that's not to say if you want to keep playing, there's a lot of different ways you can keep playing, right? You can go and play on a different role that you don't care as much about. You can go and play on an alt account. Alt accounts are
That's basically what I just did. Yeah. I was
mhm.
just playing tank.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's a
yeah.
great way because now you're a little bit off, but you're going and playing on an alt where you might be at a lower SR than you typically are. It's also not something it's as
Well,
serious and mhm,
I hate to interrupt, but actually, I just hit my tank peak, I think,
mhm. Oh,
which is
but
pretty
then
cool.
but your tank peak is also is hundreds of SR, like what, 200 SR below where you would typically be on DPS aside
That's
from
true.
the
That's
the
true.
tilting,
Yeah.
um something like that.
I
Good.
also I wanted to show you what I do sometimes when I don't want to play. I think it's pretty productive. I just have like this warm up. You've probably even seen this. I don't know. I just have this workshop code that I've been practicing a lot on, and I'm trying to learn. I don't remember if you remember my form that I submitted, but I'm trying to learn Tracer
Mhm.
because she's really hard. And I've just been in here like practicing on these bots a lot
Mhm.
as Widow and Tracer, and it's actually paid off a lot for me, I think. Like
Nice.
I don't know, I know I'm not like the best at Tracer or Widow, but I've been practicing like doing blink melees and stuff, but
Mhm.
uh
Yes.
I mean I think my mechanics are probably good enough, at least for my goals,
Mhm.
but I still practice them.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's good to hear. I personally, I'm typically a fan of like a tryhard free for all, as that is has I think when it comes to like aim trainers types of things, you get inaccurate movements of characters. They don't shoot at you, so there's less pressure in the moment. There's not
Yeah,
cover at all in this scenario. There's not abilities interacting. So there's just a
yeah,
lot. It's a lot less realistic. Whereas I mean, even if you just go into something like a death match, right? In death match, well, then you have people doing actual movement, and you have
yeah,
people
yeah.
using abilities and shooting back at you. So I think that's a good.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to say I do those a lot,
Mhm.
but
Mm.
yeah. I don't mean to interrupt or like yeah.
No, you're good.
I also do those a lot.
Yep.
I play this
Honestly,
game
yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah, honestly I think that it's though I don't think aim trainers are unproductive. I think that they can be good, especially if done in moderation. I definitely wouldn't be spending probably more than like unless you're playing 8 hours a day, you probably shouldn't be spending more than like 20 minutes in one of them because you want to be putting as much time as possible into actual games. Again, with the connotation of if you're on a on a tilt queue, right?
yeah. So I think I understand that. I'm not sure, but I think I understand. I wanted to show you one of my replays.
Sure, let's go
While
into it.
we have this hour.
Hmm.
Um. So let's see. Oh, I also do you know 1v1 Arena the
Yes.
Sadek game mode. Yeah, I like playing that a lot
Yep,
in queue.
it's another good one.
So I don't honestly remember these, but I remember I saved them for this session,
Okay,
and I saved some of these. Um, but these ones are more recent. These ones were yesterday.
okay, you can copy
So
them over.
these were close losses. Should I share you
Yep.
the links? Or
Mhm.
actually, I just want to check really quickly.
Sure.
I don't remember if this was open queue or roll queue, because open queue is not as. Oh, this is definitely roll queue, because I played against Play to Improve, and I know him in roll queue. So
Mhm.
these are. I'm just gonna make sure these are both roll queue, because roll queue is harder for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, though, definitely in general, it's more players that play it, more competitive in the sense that it's always gonna be more competitive when there's more people that play it, and then I'd also say probably a little bit more competitive of a rule set as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if we have time to go over both of these. There's a 15-minute one and a 20-minute one.
Yeah, I
But
mean, we only have 30 minutes left in this session. 8 minutes are gonna be review, but or we can cut that down a little bit because we got notes. But go ahead and copy it over.
okay. I think the Eichenwald game was better,
Mhm.
just from what I remember. So they were both close losses in my opinion, but that was also my second game, so I might have been not playing as well after losing the first one. But that's okay. There's more to learn at least.
Okay, I'm streaming.
All right.
Traveling to Eichenwald. Ready for
All right.
battle.
So my name is Genji on Overwatch. I think I actually came in late to the game,
Okay.
but yeah.
No, it looks like you're good.
Defend
Um.
objective A.
All right. So we're starting here on fire. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, same as the last time. Just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about.
Yep.
Far is my forte. My favorite character.
Yeah, I like far. I just yeah.
Make sure you're requesting healing once again. Watch your health bar. Right. Notice that when you do take a lot of damage, you'll see that people shooting at you. You'll see around your screen. You'll see the red marks. Your character will gasp. You'll see the direction in which you're taking damage from, both on the corners of your screen, but then also right next to your crosshair. You'll see the damage indicators from where you're taking damage from. You also see your health bar go down. Right. So a lot of
Yeah.
things. Press the button. Get people to look at you sooner. Okay. Flying very far away from cover here, so we're kind of floating. Watch how we kind of leave cover and kind of floating very far onto the open, whereas being
Yeah.
up here utilizes sky cover and whatnot. We kind of change up our target as well, and we start looking at monkey here. Not a great target to be shooting at, which we can maybe go into if it repeats, but for the
Yeah,
moment.
I think my idea was to back off into the room, but I think that probably would have been better to stay up.
Yeah, I mean that's fine if we had a reason to back off, but we weren't really super heavily pressured and we were being healed, so we probably could have stayed up on the high ground.
Okay, okay. So now I'm just shooting tanks,
Hmm.
which is probably not the best idea.
Yeah. So why shooting tanks not the best idea?
Because I'm probably not gonna kill them, and then
Yeah.
they'll just get healed.
Hmm.
And I want to get some kills.
Yep. Target priority is typically easiest characters to kill, right? Because the easier they are to kill, then you're actually going to get the elim, right? Tanks are going to
Yeah,
shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and they don't die, right? Now, if that's not to say we never shoot at tanks. We shoot at them when they're low, when they're out of position, when you have the opportunity, or potentially if they're the only thing you can shoot at, right? It's not wrong to if let's say you're just spamming, but when you have the option to go for other things, or you can actively seek out other characters, go for other characters, right? Um,
yep.
and even among the other squishies, there are going to be easier and harder things to kill, right? Like, we're looking at their team comp. Who's going to be easier to kill, a Ana or a Tracer?
Definitely an Ana, yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can kind of come up with a tier list and just like, at the start of the game, come up with a quick tier list in your head. Who's the easiest, who's the hardest, right? So we can go through and if I were doing our team comp, I would say, okay, probably easiest is gonna be like Ana, then
Ultra maybe?
Oh, so I was
Well,
looking at our team,
Soldier,
but if you go their
I
team, yeah.
think I would target Soldier just because he's
Yeah,
gonna
Soldier.
press me.
Yeah, Soldier. There's also comes into practice is value. So Soldier would be high value of a kill because of the fact that he is the only one of the only things that can contest you, right?
Yeah,
So he's kind of maybe like on that bottom or maybe slightly higher tier of to kill, but he's also a high value target. So he might even be the first thing you shoot at each fight.
yeah. So that was my idea. Just from in hindsight, at least.
Yep. So awareness, we didn't really notice issues there. Wrong targets, kind of on the ground as well. Not really too much
Yeah.
sky there. Not a lot of height.
Yep. I definitely should
Stop the
like
payload.
change my headphones. I think you're totally right.
Do you
But
play much Pharah? I can't recall.
um, I used to a lot. She's one of my higher played
Mm.
characters.
So just to make sure you do know them, because there we seem to be very low to the ground. I probably recommend being much higher up in the air. Puts you out of range. It means that they do less damage because they have damage fall off. They're less accurate. It means that you can use
Yep.
cover and you don't have damage fall off yourself. So just to make sure you know how to infinitely fly, right? You
Yeah,
have that down.
like I know how to like rocket jump and use like
Mm,
manage my fuel somewhat to infinitely fly. It's not automatic, or because I don't play her that much
mm-hmm.
anymore, but I
Yeah.
think I could do it
Okay.
still. Like I can rocket jump and
So
stay
you
up
know
in
how
the
to
air.
like shift rocket jump, yeah? Like
Yeah,
do both of them.
I don't always time it perfectly, but yeah, like shoot the
Mm.
ground and then use
You
the booster.
Yeah, usually it's just the exact same time. That just makes it
Yeah,
easy. Just press the buttons all at the exact same time.
yep. And then
Yep.
I switch off because I'm more to more of a comfort pick.
Yeah.
Now, hold on.
Okay, nice kill.
Rest in peace.
Just whipping some shots there. It's fine.
Whiffing a lot of
I
shots.
guess
Good.
I guess I don't like my positioning here because there's a monkey that could easily jump me. I had some guy like I'll tell you later. It's not important.
Don't move. Pardon.
I stood still there when I got stuck because I didn't want our monkey to get hit.
Yep.
I don't actually know if he did get hit, but
I
yeah.
think you might have, but no, that's a good idea still. Okay, so here we have two choices, right? We have only two directions we can walk, or technically I guess three, right? We have go top left, we have go left room and then top left, and we have go right side, right?
Yeah.
So in this situation, which would put us in the best positioning?
Um, I think probably going to the bridge might be better, except I don't know where my team is. So I think yeah, I think going up to the bridge would be better because my tanks are going up there.
Yeah, I mean, even if your tanks weren't going up here, as long as you are being wary, because the only character who can reach you is Monkey, right? And as long
Yeah.
as you're being careful with Monkey, you can dual Monkey. I mean, if you get in a flash right click, roll right click right into Monkey, then that's a lot of damage. He's gonna be distracted with a fight. So as long as you're careful and not just revealing yourself, while Monkey's able to dive you. Then I think that'd be perfect, like, wonderful position to be in. I don't think this is terrible by any means, but I think that we definitely missed an opportunity to just go out and take the high ground, because then we have much better visibility. We probably get a little bit closer. Monkey dives us anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see now that I should be on high ground. Maybe I do go there? I don't know.
Now we probably be good to farm up ult real quick, and then we can take top left maybe, if we have the time for it.
Oh, there. It's And
Yeah, I should be on the bridge, I think, with the high
Yeah,
noon.
so let's rewatch the High Noon. I think the problem with the High Noon here is that we kind of blind High Noon, right? We don't even know really what we're. So firstly, right, you're right. We probably could go top left, and then now from top left, look at this visibility over like where's Ana and Soldier gonna go? Where's Brig gonna go? Right? No,
Yeah, they're just
you
gonna
know,
be out in the open.
yeah, they're on the open. So from here, we kind of have a worse angle, but we're also blind high nooning where we don't really even know where the heck anybody is. We high noon as we're turning the corner, and we can only see two people, and both those people are close to cover, right? So, or close to cover from this angle, right?
Yeah.
So that means that this high noon really doesn't do too much, or at least I'm assuming it doesn't unless they move into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I remember this. We lost this fight. They kept point. I try to live here and touch, but
Yeah. So just taking that little bit longer of a route, right? That gets us the off angle, right? So we've been talking a bit on target priority, right? Target priority is easiest targets to kill. Now, if we let's exit out here really quickly. Now, when
Yep.
it comes to trying to actually get to the characters we want to kill, that means we want to actively seek out those characters, right? Go after those characters. Well, I thought I picked on. There we go. So we want to actively seek out those characters. So what we have to do that, or one of the very easiest ways to do that, is let's like think up a scenario here. Enemy team, our team. This is what you would refer to as the main angle, right? If they're all shooting at us, they have shields, tanks, everything that we don't want to shoot at, tanking abilities, all in the front here. And this is where we've been sitting most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Majority of our gameplay has been sitting down here. But if we just take 2 seconds, well, now we've just gotten past everything, straight to their back line. And this is very fast, this is very safe, right? We can instantly, we come up here, flashbang, and then we just roll back, or
Yeah.
instantly back to our team.
I have a question about that. So, because I remember I was playing sort of like that on Soldier, like just running around in their backline in one game, and some guy was just yelling at me in the chat, like, "Stop flanking, you're so bad," and like, I don't think I was doing it badly, but I kind of don't really know the difference between like taking an off angle and flanking.
Sure. So I was about to define that for you. So that's an off angle. Off angles are by nature short and safe. Now a flank is if we did this. So let's come up with another scenario real quick. Enemy team, our team, main angle, right? An off angle would be, we're taking what, max 4 seconds, and now we're up here on the high ground, perfect angle to get shots in, very safe. We can drop back to our team if we need to, very fast, right? But another scenario here is if enemy team, our team, main angle, and we went around and around and around and around. Now this is a flank. Flanks are typically much longer and more dangerous, or either or, right? Either more dangerous or longer, right?
I like to do that on some characters, but sometimes I just mess up and get jumped.
Yeah, and so flanks are more doable on characters that have A, more survivability because they're more dangerous, and B, have more mobility because they are able to do them faster and not be out of the fight for so long. Typically, you don't want to do them in the middle of a fight, cause too long of one, because then you're out of the fight for a super long period of time, right? So it's better to do them kind of in between the fights is best timing, or shorter flanks, right? And then if you are on a flank, you just want to be careful because it is more dangerous, right? So being in their backline on Soldier is not a wrong thing. It's not necessarily, as long as it's being executed properly, because it is more dangerous. But as long as you're being safe and watching for them to dive you, and you don't always need to be in their backline on Soldier, you can be on the sides, you can off angle, you can go on shorter flanks, right? Backline isn't the only option, you also have the sides, right?
Yeah.
So does that make sense as defining them?
Yeah.
And then on a character,
No
and then on a
payment
character like
required.
McCree, who,
This
yes,
one's
has a
on
little bit of survivability, but not as much as Soldier, and yes, has a little bit of mobility, but not nearly as much as Soldier. He's probably not going to be flanking as much as like a Soldier or a Tracer would. But one time that is really good for flanking is probably when he has High Noon, because then you can get, it's a very big bang for your buck with the flank, because you get a lot of instant value out of that, even out of the little bit of time you're wasting.
Look at the draw.
Right.
Yep, that makes sense. Should we finish up the replay? In the last 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So, I noticed when I tend to get tilted, I like to switch to like Doom or Widow or something that can just one-shot people. And I kind of got a little tilted and I switched to Doom. I probably fed, I don't remember, but this is a habit that I have. I kind of just tend to switch unnecessarily when I'm tilted, in my opinion at least. I walk into the grab.
Yeah.
Meteor strike.
Gotta be careful and watch our team, because here we're going in really hard and engaging while our whole team's backing up. So,
Yeah, I died here for that ult. I think I realize now watching that I should not have done this, because then I get punished. The soldier runs away and then I die, I think, or no, I get out.
no.
Just kidding.
Yeah, probably just like it's just a little bit of over-aggression in comparison to what our team's doing. Nice.
Yeah.
Not a lot we can do after that.
Yeah. I think we actually held them here, but I'm
Okay.
definitely over-aggressing.
Here,
Like, no
kind of
cooldown.
some missed targets, right? We kind of probably should go for the backline here, but we go for the monkey, then he primals, and then we go in on the soldier. This is so with Doomfist, there's something called fully syncing your kit. So when you use all of your abilities all at the same time, and
Yeah.
that means that now you don't have any abilities to escape with. Now it's not always a bad thing. You can fully sync your kit when you're in a 1v1 or you're heavily winning, or you have your ultimate to bail you out, right? Or you have your team's protection, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we can't. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I think I get that mostly.
Mhm.
Like the syncing, like having one ability to escape. I think I just, I guess I misplayed here, but
Yep.
Doom is one of my better characters generally.
Mhm.
I definitely see how I screwed up. Without like I think I
Yeah.
could have escaped with my uppercut. I just didn't. But I
Yeah.
think I get that part. Yeah, I think I get that.
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt.
All good.
I mean, I obviously don't understand it perfectly, and I sometimes just mess up and don't have an escape. But
Yeah. It's just paying attention to just which abilities do you have, making sure we're not engaging without them.
Draw.
Uh-oh.
yeah, I didn't know what to do there. We C9'd, I think.
Yeah, our team got off, but we also kind of like did a half punch out into the open, so it didn't seem like we were going to go. We were probably dying like a second later, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't have a target to commit to, so I just kind of went out. I think I was gonna jump on the Kree after he ulted, but he has flash, and there's a sleep and a soldier. I don't know what I'm gonna really do there.
Rising up.
One. Attackers incoming.
So I noticed that you
Defend
like
objective
to
A.
flex around a lot. So
Yeah,
being that your goal is improvement, I would add my recommendation. Now, this is not hard and fast. It's kind of up to you, but my recommendation would be to limit your hero pool slightly, because the broader you open up your hero pool, the less time you'll actually have to improve on said characters, right? Especially
yeah,
across vastly different characters and even different roles. When you're playing, let's say, 10 different characters, I mean, you can let's just make it easy, right? Let's say 6 characters. Let's say you have 600 hours, 100 per character. Now, if you were to limit that to 3 characters, you cut that in half. Well, now you just doubled your time per character. So you have double the
yeah,
time to be able to learn specific abilities and specific mechanics and specific positioning and ultimates and all the
yeah,
things that are different per character. It gets doubled, and you go to 2 characters, now you've just tripled that time that you have. So here, in this game alone, you swap between 4 different characters, and then we were on 2 different tanks, or I can't remember if we went on a third, but we were on 2 different tanks. So that's alone in this session, I've seen you play 6 different characters across 2 games. And then also I think
yeah,
like over on Fiverr, you wrote, heroes I want to learn: Widow, Ash, Tracer, Soldier, Sombra, right? You're listing 5 characters you
yeah,
want to learn. Well, that's just going to mean that you're learning them 5 times as slow as you would if you learned 1 character, right? Or even,
yeah.
Mhm.
Could I mention something?
Sure.
I tend to like flex mostly flex DPS like projectiles.
Mhm.
I do see how I'm flexing too much, I think, in some of these games,
Mhm.
but I like what my comfort zone is like flex like Doom like flex DPS like Doom, and then I think I play Hanzo here.
Yep.
Like projectile DPS. That's what I usually specialize
Yeah.
in.
So
I just yeah.
yeah, so my recommendation would be probably like, especially since you're a flex DPS player, right? I would probably
Yes.
say try to pick like 3-ish characters to prioritize. Now that means that you're not like hard locking, but you're making them the priority to where you're trying to pick those characters whenever possible and force them even into slightly uncomfortable situations. But but if you ever need to swap, right? Let's say the situation is utterly terrible for your character and you think a character would be really fantastic, go ahead. But that now you've cut down on that that swap time by a lot because you're prioritizing.
I
Or
see.
you can also add in other characters as well if you just are wanting to have fun or that sort of thing. But if you're practicing, then limit it down to the priorities. The most your best and most fun characters.
Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to prioritize actually Tracer. Maybe another time I could show you a Tracer replay. Or
Mhm.
actually, we have 8 minutes, and I think the rest of this game might not be worth showing. Do you think I could show you a Tracer replay? For the next 10 minutes?
Well, no, typically the last little bit of the session is to do like a wrap up review and main points, so that we just
Oh,
like,
okay.
know what we you just know what we went over and what you want to work on. So we probably don't have too much time to even swap over to another one. Typically do last 8 minutes. We'll
Enemy
crunch it
contact.
down, do like
My
6 minutes.
business,
So
none of
we have
Okay.
like one more minute in the replay. Unfortunately,
Oh,
sorry.
really? Oh, no problem, no problem.
Hey, nice
I
shots.
totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, promises it's for your benefit. it'll
Yeah,
it'll
I
it'll help
get it.
out to know what to work on.
Yeah, I definitely should specialize more. I'm trying to specialize in Tracer
Hmm.
more recently, but she's one of my worst in terms of just
bless your
win rate
heart.
and that
Hmm.
kind of thing. But
Oh, nice headshot.
thank you.
Smoke them out of there.
I wasn't sure where they were there. That was not a great dynamite.
Yeah. Um,
Smoke them
Maybe
out of
curve it to
there.
the left more so that it actually gets around the corner, or even just
Yeah.
keep your ears open. Maybe peek around the corner. You always have Coach Gun to get him off of you, but we kind of maybe rush it a little bit fast there. Nice shots.
Yep. Thank
All right.
you.
So.
So I think that's probably. I mean, there's still a few minutes left, but
Hmm.
um, I think that's honestly enough for the hour. Like, I feel like I kind of learned what I needed
There
to
is no
learn. I
obligation.
really want to learn like you talked about shield management in that game. I want to learn like blink management and
Hmm.
with Tracer and movement positioning.
Sure.
In the last few minutes, like,
Holy
would you have any like advice for a Tracer player? Like, what
Um.
Cheers, love. The cavalry
I guess like how I should manage my blinks or when I
So
should recall.
yeah, it'd definitely be beneficial to see where you're going wrong because something it's gonna be different things. Like I can say general statements, but they might not be directly applicable. But in general, on Tracer, places where tracers go wrong, watch bad habits of blinking and then immediately recalling because then you just waste the blink.
Where were we?
Typically you don't want to engage with a blink. If possible, it's not an all be all, but if you can, don't blink with an engage because what ends up happening is if let's say we have um one ability here, or two. Let's say we had two blinks. Wait, so how do I do this? Let's say we have three
Yeah,
blinks, right? And we walk in and we blink in. Well, now we get here with two blinks, right? Or let's say we're down a blink and we do that same thing. We're at one blink, right, when we're engaging, right? But
yeah,
then what we can do instead is let's say we're down a blink. or even down 2 blinks, and we take the time to walk in, well, now by the time we've actually gotten here, we're now at 3 blinks as we're engaging instead of 1 blink. So that makes the difference between 1 to 3 blinks while we're in a fight, and you want 3 blinks, not 1 blink in a fight, because that means that you can dodge abilities and damage, and then you can confuse them, and overall it's going to be much better for you. So a lot of tracers fall into the bad habit of, just every time you walk in, you're always going blink, and then that means that we're down abilities as we're engaging.
Yeah, I had a clip in this game that I think demonstrates. I can't actually find it. There was like this Widow player that I was not able to beat. I don't remember what actually this part is, but maybe I could just show you a quick clip.
Okay.
I don't remember what I'm doing here. I just remember I was really targeting the Widow. And I thought I could just show you a clip. So the Widow was a Smurf. I don't know, but she was on a level 29 account in Diamond. This was like a high Diamond game. And I'm wondering like if I could have played this better.
Yeah, so like rewind it a little bit. Like let's go back to the start.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the Widow's really good.
Yep.
Here. I can slow it down if you want. But here.
Yeah.
So this is just a clip from the game.
Notice how we're kind of immediately blinking in. Pause it real quick. Right?
Oh.
Well, pause. So, firstly, notice how we're going in, but the issue is that the fight really hasn't progressed too far, and we're going in without our whole team. So that means that now, not only is Widowmaker going to be looking at us, but we also have Mercy's going to be able to pocket Widow, and they have teammates who can turn around to look at you. So I would say the engagement timing is maybe slightly early. I guess actually their team is pretty far in now. I guess that vantage point does make it a little bit better. Because their team's walking in. So you can continue.
Okay.
Yeah, the vantage point does make it better.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's
So
see. So this, yeah, I get outplayed here.
Yep.
By the Widow. I almost kill her.
So
but then I
that's
kind of lose her when
a
I blink
little
melee.
bit of a rushed blink melee. Don't be afraid too much to. Yeah, sorry, it's hard. It's hard while you're going there. So a little bit of a rush to a blink melee. Blink melee in a lot of cases is going to find the most value when you're finishing the target, right? Because otherwise, the question becomes why not just shoot, right? If you're not going to blink melee, it's a very fast finisher. In a lot of cases, it's good finish when you don't have ammo left to finish. But we end up blinking in and meleeing twice before she, and she's not low enough health to finish her off, right? Which ends up wasting 2 blinks. Whereas, if you have both of those blinks to blink around her, well, now that's extra time that we can be dodging damage and reloading, right?
Yeah, I wanted to look at this from her perspective, but yeah, I can see what you mean about the rushing the blink melees. So, yeah, from her perspective, I messed up the blink melee and then I kind of lost her.
Yep.
Then I did it again, and then I think here I kind of ran in a straight line and she headshot me.
Yep.
But yeah, she outplayed me there.
Yeah,
and
I'd probably say that's the biggest
game.
thing there. Because then that wastes 2 blinks that potentially could be used a lot better.
Yeah, I almost got to cover, but I can see how I played that incorrectly. I mean, I think that's basically all I was gonna look at for this session.
Sounds good. So yeah, let me stop the recording. So